for introducing me and also to invite me for this sharing of some Dharma. Actually, I graduated from IB. That time was IBU. I was the first batch International Buddhist University, but unfortunately it was not recognized by the Thai government. So, in other words, my degree was void, without certificate. That anyway is I told myself to study for knowledge. Of course, certificate is so important when you go out to present, to have dialogue with others. They want to see your data. So in a way, and actually, I'm not very good in English. During my childhood, I don't like to study at all. Not until when I failed my LCE, that means Form 3, I repeated. And at that time only I appreciate, studying is important. 2 years to pick up my English. So, just to share, before I start with my Dharma talk. So today is, the topic is Buddhist perspective towards disease. But in Pali, disease, they call it Vyadi, disease. So, as you all know, the 4 sites. When the Buddha, one day the Buddha left the palace to visit, to have a look on the common people. And he saw the 4 sights. Now what did he see? The first one, old man. Okay. Second one, a sick man. Third one, death. And fourth one is a monk. Now these 4 sights make him think, what is life? Why there's old age? Why there is disease, sickness? And why we have to die? And what's this monk doing? What is he doing? What is he trying to realize? So the prince, the young prince, see the reality. What is the reality? Suffering. Life is suffering. We will experience old age. And we also experience sickness, disease. Whether it's light or heavy. And one day we will also have to leave this world. So I'm here. I'm the 4th one. Renunciation. Why I renounce? Because I myself find that life is suffering. I realized it when my father passed away. And I have to take care of the whole family. I was the eldest. And we were very poor at the time. When we want to visit relatives, relatives are afraid. Why? Because, maybe she's coming here to borrow money. Right? See, people, when you are poor, people tend to avoid you. And I see, my mom is married. Of course there's happiness and also there's what do you call, unhappiness in the family. So I was thinking, what's the purpose of life? What's the purpose of life? Therefore, I decided to renounce, to seek the truth, to end suffering. And that's how I'm here now, as a nun. Okay. Now, disease, we cannot avoid. Everyone, it's a matter of what kind of sickness we have. Okay. So, no one can avoid old age, sickness, death. But you can avoid to be a nun or a monk. Okay. Vadipi dukkha, that means disease is a cause of suffering, as we know. And types of disease. So we go in sequence, no? Types of disease we have to identify, and what are the causes of diseases, and finally the treatment, right? So like, for example, when you go to the clinic or a doctor, the doctor will ask, what's wrong with you? Right? Oh, I sprained my leg. Is it fracture or sprain your leg? Or is it the vein or the bones? So, we already identified, okay, the disease or the problem is the leg. Now, the origin, or what causes this, the fracture or whatever, then only the doctor will prescribe the treatment. Whether it's a fracture or just sprain. Okay. So the same thing, when we want to identify what sickness, then only we know the treatment. We go for the treatment, right? Physical disease, kaika roga. Roga is the disease and kaika is the physical. This is the physical body. So we identify there are two types of main diseases, the physical and the mental. Mental disease, cetasika roga. Cetasika, chitta, something do with mind, okay? Cetasika roga and kaika roga. So physical sickness and mental sickness, which is more serious. So in the Samyutta Nikaya, we have 5 Nikayas, right? The Tipitaka consists of 5 Nikayas. So we have one of the Nikayas mentioned, the diseases originating from, it can be your organs, no? Can be changes of climate. At one time, or several times, I went to Genting Highlands with the children, not to the casino or whatever. Because my temple, we have the orphans. So once, in the blue moon, we will bring them to Genting, let them enjoy life. So I discovered that whenever in Genting the weather is very nice, right? Cooling and so on. But once when I come back to KL, I will feel the heatiness, the change of climate, and it makes me feel sick. So weather also can affect our body. Of course, the organs, different organs, if you don't take care of your organs, what called sickness will come. And very common nowadays is stress. Okay, stress. Because of, for the young ones, maybe studying. For those who are working, maybe because of work. eh? Family problem. So when I was, during 50 or 30 years, we seldom heard of the word stressed. I don't know what is stress. What I know is I enjoy childhood life. But nowadays, 师父很压力啊。师父very stressful. When I ask them to do this event project, they say 师父 very stressful. I say, is it very stressful? You just do. There's always an SOP, right? For you, the SOP. To how to organize, how to run an event. I find that nowadays it's very sad. Children, they experience stress. Our days, Bobby, I don't know what is stress. So we can consider we are very fortunate, right? No doubt we don't enjoy those material things, the handphone, TV, but we enjoy the nature. Even we climb out and then we saw that if there's guava, one little ripe guava, once you get it, I'm so happy. It's so tasty. Now you have very big guava. It's different taste. Okay. So stress is also one of the main causes. And certain attacks from without. Like yesterday I saw on WhatsApp. This one is Josephine or what, I can't remember. The friend died of just, they call it stroke, mental stroke or whatever. And people dying of sudden death because of attack from virus. So all these we cannot prevent. We don't know when the virus will attack us. Okay. And of course, diseases can come from one's own karma. Can be past karma, can be the present karma. Okay. Present karma is afterwards I will show you why I say present karma. If you don't control, for example, your food, you like to eat fried stuffs, you know what is the consequences? Cholesterol, heart block, and all this. So we continue to we want to refer back to what is stated in the suttas. As in academic field, they always want you to refer. So refer back to the original sources. And human unethical behavior leads to numerous diseases. So I quote from Sutta Nipata, the increase in the number of diseases was due to the slaughter of animals. The increase in the number of diseases was due to the slaughter of animals. Why? Huh? What? This is yelima, karma, the law of karma. You do good, you get good. You do bad, you get bad. So the more you kill, the more what you call diseases or things will happen to you. Like those slaughters, those who always kill, you have a lot of what you call surgery in your body because of the killing. And it's very cruel. Nowadays, you can go to the video, you just click how they kill the, the, those animals for food. Yeah? Very cruel. And then come the concept of vegan. You know what is vegan? You know what's vegan? Full vegetarian diet. Especially in US, in the Western country, a lot of people, they go for vegan food. Even no animal products like milk, cheese, because of cruelty, slaughtering animals. So nowadays, even irrespective of religion. So in Buddhism, the law of karma is you kill. When you kill, do killing, your life will be shortened. So don't ask why. Some people they say that I'm a pious Buddhist. Why this happened to me? Why I have this kind of diseases? Why? It could be a past life. What you have done. And this, what we also call repentance. The karma repentance. You have to undergo the consequences. Or it could be in this life. You used to kill a lot, slaughter a lot of animals, so you suffer in this life. Could be a past life, could be in this life. Okay. And Chakravarti Sihana Dasutta says that when men become unethical in their day-to-day affairs, their lifespan gets shorter. So it's the same. So these two suttas verify that healing can cause a lot of what we call sickness to the person who did it. So this is usually what we do. I mean, in a university, we have to code. Okay, if you are able to code, you have more marks. So how many marks are you going to give me? And also in Dhammapada, he who harms with the rod the defenseless and innocent soon will come to one of these states. When you harm others, what are the consequences? You're subject to acute pain, disasters, bodily injury, grievous disease, loss of mind, to the extent. And on the dissolution of his body, that means upon death, the foolish man will arise in hell. So this is another sutta. They say that when you harm others, what do you get in return? And why nowadays there are so many what so-called natural disasters in this earth, in this world we are suffering. It's because human are destroying. Human being doesn't really care about this Mother Earth. What has been done to the environment? Why we have the environmentalists to protect the world? Because of modernization, because of development, people are destroying the world. Why? Because of modernization, because of sensual pleasure. We want to enjoy life, right? In our time, we don't have aircon. Not even a fan when we're small. Nowadays, I think most of the rooms, most of the houses, they have aircon. They switch on the aircon at night and they cover with blanket. Why? You want, you want the coolness, you want to enjoy the coolness, but it's too cold, so you cover with blanket. Really, it's very contradictory, right? You can on the aircon when the room is cool, just off it, and you not to cover with blanket, isn't it? Well, see, sometimes when I went for house blessing, when you do house blessing, you have to go into all the rooms, right, and observe the blankets. The blankets were very thick. Do we need it? Why? Do we need, really need all these things? Can't it be simple? But people, most of the human beings are going after. This is called sensual pleasure. You want to enjoy. But then, the consequence, we have to think about the consequences of it. Yeah. Be simple. Protect the environment, protect the world. You are protecting everybody. If you destroy this, or sort of doing harm to this earth, it comes back. We are doing harm to ourselves. What's happening now in the world? You have tsunami here. You have earthquake. All kinds of natural disasters. So you can think about it. How are we going to protect the Mother Earth? So the above suttas show that moral deterioration could lead to diseases. So in 2,500, more than 2,500 years ago, this was already said by the Buddha. And now, is it true? What the Buddha say? It's true. You need not have to listen to what I say or what is written in the sutta. You just see for yourself. Is it true? So in the Kalama Sutta, the Buddha said, don't listen to what others say. Don't follow what is written in the sutta. Ehipassiko, to see for yourself. So more than 2,500 years ago, this was being said by the Buddha, and now we see it's true. So, and what is the treatment? What did the Buddha prescribe? Sila, precepts, to prevent our unethical activities. So this is only one Dharma door. There are so many these so-called treatments that we can use. So sila is to counteract our we call immoral activities through our body, speech, and mind. Yeah? There are many kinds of medicines actually, like adaptability. You have diabetic, you have Western medicine, you have the Eastern medicine, and you have your own medicine. If you are able to control your food, you can avoid from taking the diabetic medicine. So you have so many kinds of methods of treatment. So sila, we know that this is because of our immoral activities. We harm others, we harm this. So how to control or how to subdue our this mind, body, and speech? It's very easy. You say mind. What can the mind do to harm others? What can the speech do to harm others? What can the body do to harm others. Just now we saw killing, right? So killing is the first precept. Abstain from killing. You know, every time when you come for a puja, you recite. Do you recite the 5 precepts? What are the 5 precepts? Huh? Refrain from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, intoxicants. Now, I would say in those days, intoxicants means liquor. During Buddha's time, I don't think there's any drug. So we can include drug. And during Buddha's time, there's no computer, no games. So I would put in games or computer as a drug, addicted. Are you addicted to your handphone? Yeah. It's very sad. It's very sad to see, when sometimes my devotees do take me to Paparich. It doesn't mean that a renouncee cannot go to all these places. I can have a cup of coffee. So, and I watch. It's very sad to see. Okay, one family. They brought the child, I think about maybe a few months old, about one year old. The husband was busy with the handphone, and the wife was also very busy with the handphone. And the child was looking here and there. It's sad. So addicted to the phone. Are you one of them? Maybe the young one. So you must know how to control. Okay, give yourself maybe half an hour. That's it. Then go back to your normal study. Okay, it's very bad for our mind. If it is for knowledge, it's okay. If it is game, it's very dangerous, because game is either you die or I die. And the concept is there. The thought is there every day. The thought is there. I want to win. I must win. You must die. It's always there. So do you think it's healthy? Later, you have mental problem. You cannot accept. When you fail, you cannot accept. Because handphone or computer, you can control. But things you cannot control. When you're out in the society or anywhere, you cannot control people. Right? So they will face mental problem, stress, depression, the anger, hatred. All these are defilements, mental problem, mental disease. Okay. So one of the treatment is what you call precepts. Take your precepts and remind yourself not to kill, not to steal, not to have sexual misconduct, speech karma, and also addicted to different types of. Now we have so many modern things besides liquor. Oh, this is, yeah. If I see those very skinny one, they're trying to control, because those fat one, they cannot control. Okay, overindulgence in sensual pleasure. Sensual pleasure, one is through mouth, food. will also have ill effects on physical health. You must, when you eat, you must think of Mahadev. What did he say? When you love the food, you must know how to control. Tarik balik. Yeah? If you love the food, you will keep on eating. Overeating, is bad for our health, and it will affect us. Like, for example, you love fried stuff. Just fresh from the wok, very fresh, and it's fried. If you take too much, what will you experience? Sore throat, heaty, something. So, must control. Overeating will cause various kinds of diseases. I love sweet stuff, but I'm a diabetic because genetics from the family. So when I consume sugar things, I have to think of, you have to stop. So you must know how to control. Controlling food is also very important. Don't overeat. So when you love that, you think of Mahadev, oh, I want to be 93 years old, healthy. Okay? So overeating can cause diseases. So we come now to the mental diseases, the root cause of all mental diseases. So all this comes back to what? I. The first one is false belief in the existence of a permanent ego. Ego means I. You always think that this is mine. This is my body. This is my family. This is my house. And of course, this is my stomach. So from there, from the concept of having say that self is permanent, so arises a lot of defilements, and one of it is craving. Like just now, craving for food, craving for sensual pleasure, the body. I don't like the weather out there. It's very hot. What if we switch off the aircon? Would you like it? No. So these are sensual pleasure through the body, the mouth, the ear. Some people didn't. I don't know, but I like sentimental, peaceful songs of music. The youngsters like very crazy. They love those very heavy. Yeah. Maybe we are old, so we prefer those sentimental ones. The young ones, they like very heavy the music, then they move their body. We are too old to move. So they will crave for that sound. Besides, the eye also. We crave, we like to see beautiful things. We don't like to see ugly things around us. Even like the Langley, the Cindy, sometimes when she was young, I'm not saying that you're old now. I will look at her a few times, secretly now. So the eyes would like, you will crave for beautiful things. Why? It comes back because there's I. Okay. Now, gradually lead the mind towards conceptual proliferation. You think, once you have the what call thought, if it is good thought, okay, go ahead. Put in right effort and action. If it is a bad thought, you have to use the right effort to suppress the bad thought. Like for example, today is Venerable Sinkan's talk. Should I come or should I not come? She's not a famous speaker. She's a local. Yeah, and her education is up to only that level. She's not a professor, a doctor, not a doctor, Reverend Sinkan. Should I come or should I not come? So, right effort should come in. And do you realize that within in your mind, yourself, there is positive and there's negative. So we so-called the Mara, the evil one and the good one, the Deva. There's conflict. I always advise or tell my disciple, go into your inner world and watch your mind, body, and speech. Then only you can apply what the Buddha has taught. If I say right effort, do you know what's right effort? You don't know what to put, what effort. So we zoom in. So I take this as an example. Should I come to listen to Venerable Sinkan's talk? Of course, Ajahn Brahm's talk, it will be full house. This place is not enough. You have to rent a bigger hall where you can slot in 1,000, 2,000. So I'm happy that you're right. You're the right effort to come, to support a local nun. Actually, you should support the local ones because the local ones are the ones who will be serving the community. Of course, I don't deny that we have to get in those good ones from overseas, like Ajahn Brahm, Tinahan. They are real cultivators as well as scholars. In Malaysia, I think we have too. We have, like Venerable Dr. Dhammapala. When he was in Kelaniya University, I was in diploma, he was in degree. So actually we know each other. Then we have, of course, our Venerable K.L. Dhamajoti, but he's in Hong Kong, I think, teaching in Hong Kong, because we don't have the institute here. An institute to let our talented monks and nuns to teach. That's why, that Venerable K.L. Dhamajoti, why was he teaching in Kelaniya University? And why was he teaching in other university? Because we don't have a university here. Actually, we have the talented people, Malaysian, but they are not in Malaysia. It's very unfortunate because we don't have the platform for them to teach, to serve. Okay, so what I'm telling is, to support, to give our local sangha the opportunity to speak. I myself, I think, but today is you're doing the videoing, so you will go. Can we cut? Sometimes I'm out of the topic. Okay, why I say we have to support, because my experience was when I was a new renouncee, I really don't know anything about Dharma. I didn't know that we have to study Buddhism. There's so much to study besides learning how to chant, how to hit instruments. Dharma knowledge was so important. My master took me for funeral services. That was many years ago, more than 30 years ago. And those mourners, they will ask, Sifu, can I ask you a question? And I was very afraid because I don't know anything about Dharma at all. What is this statue all about? I only know Buddha, Kuan Yin, and a few of them. And the rest I cannot answer. I felt very bad. As a nun, I don't know. My Dharma knowledge was so thin. So then I decided to go to BNV. That time was Bricksville, they call it Bricksville Temple, right? To study. And my first teacher was Uncle Pham. Uncle Pham. And I find that my career, studying career, there's always obstacles. a lot of obstacles. When I joined them, they already halfway. They used the green book, the thick one, the Buddhist teaching. It took about, I think they took about more than 1 year. Because I remember I attended and I was with Uncle Pham for 2.5 years. Because when I joined the class, they already halfway. So I repeated again with Uncle Pham. So 2.5 years. After 2.5 years, then I joined BISDS as a teacher, teaching in the Sunday school. And that time I took a diploma in Bapu exam. I was the first batch. Why I decided to study? Because I remember the teachers, Luk Mei Ling, she asked a question about the first council, Buddhist council or whatever. I can't answer. And again, I felt very bad. So that's why I went for my higher studies in Buddhism. And I took up Bapu, the first batch. It was in Mahavihara at the time, with Brother Ui there, a few of us, Agnes. Okay, I passed. Then I decided to go for further studies for my degree in Sri Lanka. So I went and registered, and the professor said, very sorry. I said, why? You have to repeat your diploma because Bapu was not recognized by the Sri Lankan government at that time, the 1990s. I remember I went over to Sri Lanka in 1997. So that means I took my diploma in Mahavihara in 1996. So I have to repeat my diploma in Sri Lanka for 2 years. That was my budget for 2 years. So then I had to come back. And I was happy. He set up the IBU, International Buddhist University. So I registered for my degree. Yeah, pay everything. Halfway ready. Then I realized it was not recognized by the government again. So I told myself, no need certificate, just for knowledge. So I completed the degree without certificate. And in my life, this life, I'm going to tell myself, I'm going to come back as a human being, as a professor for the Sanghas. This is my aspiration. I'm coming back to study again, to be the best professor, and I'm going to teach the Sangha. Because I find this in my career, in education, there's so many obstacles. Okay, now come back to our topics. We used to tell, in Sri Lanka, we used to tell our professor, I can't remember his name. He was teaching basic doctrine on Buddhism. He will always bring us round the world, round the world. Then we always have to remind him, sir, please come back to the topic. We are going to sit for the exam. if not for the exam, we would like to hear what he say. It's a general knowledge. But because of the exam, we have to come back. So come back to the topic. But luckily, you are not sitting for the exam. So we come here. So you have it will lead you to think. The first thought, the thought is very important. In Chinese we say, 无念无想嘛，你没有那个念头，你都不会想。If it is a good thought, then put in effort to materialize it, put in action. If it is a bad thought, then we have to use mindfulness or effort, suppress it. Don't let it into action, either through the mind, body, or speech. So craving can lead to conceptual proliferation and later to imagination. You imagine. You sit down and then sometimes you see some people smiling. What are they thinking? Sometimes people they feel very sad. Imagination is not something that's true. You just attach to what you like to think. So this is a mental problem. Isn't it? You just sit down, you just love to think what you want. You can choose, right? But is it real? It's not real. You're wasting your time and you're attached to your thoughts. So this becomes, I say, some people they have a lot of imagination. Imagine this and that, but it doesn't materialize. So be careful. Now, cause of sufferings, the source of all evil and negative mental states through our. Now we come to the mind. Just now was like overeating, sensual pleasure. It was all on the physical side. Now we come to the mind. Okay, we know very well, all of us know very well that the three evil, what called roots, greed, anger, and ignorance, lobha, greed. This is represented by what we call anger. Is actually there's some mistakes here. Ignorance is represented by pig. Then anger is actually snake, and greed is actually the cock. This becomes like our Buddhist culture. Arts. They use things to represent. So when you see all this, the three animals, when you see a pig, that means it's ignorant. Or dosa, anger, this is the snake, and greed. So these are the three evil roots that were developed because of the I war. I'm angry of you. I hate you because you're clever than me. I'm angry of you because you have snatched my girlfriend. My girlfriend. The I. And when you say ignorant about what? Ignorant about the Four Noble Truths. Suffering. Cause of suffering, liberation, and the path leading to liberation. You don't know. A lot of people, they don't realize what is suffering. Today we know physical and mental suffering. besides physical and mental suffering? What other sufferings you have? You can, from the mental sufferings, you go further. Mental suffering, like what we want, we can't get. We are not happy. Our loved ones are not with us. We are not happy. The one that we don't like to see, to face, is always beside us. It's suffering. Right? So, until when you come across, you realize, this is suffering. It's either mental or physical suffering. Yeah. So, now, if you are not mindful of your inner world, when I say inner world means your mind, your body and speech, you will easily do something that's harmful to others as well as to yourself. So be careful of these three evil roots. And what can you do? You have to apply right effort. Mindfulness. Mindfulness in your daily life. Right effort has to come in when you have to make decision. When the jam. So there's another way of overcoming the three evil roots. One is generosity, dana. Now, all this because greed, anger, ignorance is because of I, right? Mine, I. So how to get rid of I, mine? One is do more dana. 布施. You give. I share my things with others. I offer my things to others, to help others, to release, to make them happy, or to release suffering, like what you are doing, the donation for the Indonesian tsunami. Yeah, you don't say that. Even like I would advise parents to put a coin box, money box, to let their children do dana every day, so that once they put, it's a good thought. It doesn't mind even if it's 1 cent. So parents, you can start, go and buy. Or you can use recycle box. Let them do dana from very small as a daily practice. Okay, so dana is one of the antidote for this. Dana can be money. Dana can be done through the body, helping others. You need not have to always use money. What if you don't have money, but you have hands? You can help others. Offer to help others. You can do dana through your ears. I don't mean cut off your ears and give dana to others. No, share. Let them pour. Just spend time with those you think that they want to share the grief. So just listen. Let them pour in, but you must also pour out. Know how to pour out. If not, you'll be affected by their sorrow. Yeah, the counselors, when they go counseling, they themselves have to be counseled. Right? Have you heard of this? Yes. So dana doesn't mean that material things. You can use your hand. You can use your mouth. You can use your ear. You can use your face, your eyes. Yeah, your eyes. Smiling. Smiling, you make people happy through your eyes. When people come here, everyone so welcoming. We feel happy. We feel like we want to come. So remember, not only money you can do dana. Your mouth, your hand, your body, your eyes, even your mind can do dana, sharing. After you have done the puja, you share the merits with others, the offering. Okay, so dana is one of it, and also compassion is also very important. When compassion develops when you see people suffering, right? You want to help, right? So by doing it, you are like a bodhisattva, Pusa. You always think of people. You always think of others. And it is because of others that it helps you to develop your compassion. If there's no means, how do you develop your compassion? So not only human beings, animals, the environment. Okay. So this is also one way to cut off the mind. And of course, wisdom. Now, how do you develop wisdom? You all have been here for, what do you learn from this center? How do you develop wisdom? How do you develop your wisdom? Can I get some answer from you? I've been talking. I want to hear some answers from you. How do you develop wisdom?
Mindfulness and meditation.
Yes, very good. Mindfulness, meditation. What else? Huh? Yes, study Dharma. Dharma is our teacher. Sutta Vinaya is our sutta, our teacher. Studying, because you need concentration, right? Mindfulness. Chanting, just now you did the puja. Very mindful, very focused on what you read, right? So you can develop wisdom through meditation, mindfulness, chanting, prostration. Prostration also you need concentration. So there are so many ways of what you call develop your wisdom, your compassion, and there's so many what you call centers or so many areas that you can do generosity. So try it. You have to, now you have the treatment, but as I said, the doctor gives you the medicine. Do you take it? Do you take it? The Buddha has given you the medicine, or you just take it and then put it on side. So in the what you call Chinese, this sing, action must be there. Then it's no point of getting the medicine, but you're not taking it. And how are you going to be cured? So from today onwards, take the medicine. Okay? Are you willing? So, it's no point just to listen. Of course not, I wouldn't say totally no point. Yes, when you listen, it will be in your mind, story first. When time comes, maybe you need to put into action. But these three values, you can do it every day. Develop it. Try to develop generosity, compassion, and wisdom. Very easy. You need not have to go too far away to give dana. You know what I mean? When you see outside your plant, it's like short of water, you pity the plant, right? Go and water it. Start from around you, your home. You didn't have to go to big centers, right? Now I'm doing a great dana. I wouldn't say this is dana. You have motive. We do things without any motive. It is we do because it is out of compassion. Remember, compassion alone is an attitude to the three evil roots. Of course, compassion must come with wisdom. Wisdom is also important. Both values are very important in our if you want to be follow the Buddha's path. Compassion and wisdom, you have to develop it. So the Buddha already prescribed the medicine. You have to take the medicine, or else it's a waste of time. Okay. So we come to the very last slide. I don't know what's the time now. Okay, mine is have to be 11:30 sharp, or half an hour for question and answer. So okay, this is the last slide. The Buddha advised the monks to develop the proper mental attitude that though my body is sick, my mind shall not be sick. This is especially when you go, I do go out to counsel those terminally ill. Yeah, we always encourage, don't say that you're sick. Even though you're sick, there are other ways. Think more positively. We have to accept reality. Okay, I can live maybe about 2 weeks. I have to accept it. Don't think negatively. Because the last thought is very important, right? It will decide where you will be reborn. So, every time must have positive thought. Positive thought. So again, right effort have to come in. If it is negative thought, just cut it, suppress it. So when I go for counseling, I will not say anything. I will not ask the person, how are you? You know that the person have only a period, maybe a week or two to survive. So normally I say, Auntie, what do you want in your mind? What do you wish? There was one case, it was in Sri Tamansara. One lady called me, in the evening, she called me, my mother-in-law, she's very sick, and she doesn't want to take vegetarian food. She wants to take meat. She doesn't want to recite Amitabha. So, I said again, out of compassion, I took a cab. She didn't even come and ask me whether I want to go or can I give you transport, offer you transport. So I think it's the affinity between me and that old lady. So I took a cab, I hired a cab, and went to Sri Tamansara. So it's quite far away, I think Kepong, right? Sri Tamansara in Kepong. So I went there, and the first thing I asked, Auntie, what do you want? She told me, Sifu, can I not eat meat? I said, can. I said, Buddha also eat meat. Right? The Buddha never said that you have to be full vegetarian. Yeah. I said, you can, as long as you don't say, I want this chicken to be slaughtered. As long as I don't see it's been slaughtered, or I don't hear it's been slaughtered. I said, you can. So I said, except for these 3 conditions. And then she told me another thing. Can I not recite Amitabha? Because, you know what, I personally feel that she has lost faith. Why I recite this Buddha's name, I still cannot recover. I'm still suffering from this sickness, the pain. See, I said, Auntie, it's okay. If you don't recite, don't recite. But then I told her, you can recite. Because for those elderly people, when you say Amitabha, instantly they say, you want me to die? You want me to go to Pure Land, right? Amitabha is Pure Land. So in their mind, this 师父叫我去死. So I say, you recite Namo观世音菩萨, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Oh, they feel more comfortable. Not Amitabha Land. So you just change the name. And I say you focus on this Bodhisattva, the Bodhisattva name, rather than to focus on the pain, because you are not a meditator. If you are a meditator, you know how to focus. You use vipassana to focus on the pain, and you can go deep into concentration. Actually, pain is our best friend. It's not our enemy. It's just how you take it, whether you take it, accept or not accept it. If you accept pain, you can go deep in. Have you tried? No. When there's pain, anger arises. Oh, I cannot stand, I want to move my leg already. No, you have to face it. See the pain. What kind of pain? Is it a cutting one? Or is it a churning pain? Or is it like palms? So there are different kinds of pain. When you watch the pain, you're already in deep concentration. You cannot hear anything outside there. You're in that world. So pain can help you to develop concentration. Once you have concentration, your wisdom develop. Wisdom develop only when you have concentration. Okay. So I say, you recite Kuan Yin Pusa and divert your focus on that Kuan Yin Pusa, not on the pain. I say, it's good you recite whenever you feel you want to recite. If you are tired, just leave it. I give her the beats to concentrate on. I say, if you're tired, just put it back. You can carry wherever you go, even to the toilet. After talking, because there was one group of people, of course they are good people, they will come once or twice a week and sit down with her and force her to recite Amitabha. It's very, we say, it's actually suffering. She already suffering from physical pain and now mental. So as an auntie, it's very flexible. As long as you feel like it, you do it. If you don't like it, just leave it aside. But remember to focus. When you have pain, you focus on Kuan Yin Pusa. Then I went off. The next morning, the daughter-in-law was, I even questioned the daughter-in-law. I say, do you like vegetarian food? I asked her back. She said, not really. Then why you force your mother-in-law to be a vegetarian, take vegetarian food? She has already no appetite to eat. Let her eat what she wants, right? Or else, the craving will be there. The thought will be there. And she will die with the craving for food. So you'll be reborn in what? Hungry ghost. Isn't it? I'm using logic. Reason. Isn't it? You die with the craving for food. Okay. Then the next morning, the daughter-in-law called me. Sifu, thank you very much. My mother-in-law was so happy. I said, why? She cooked a bowl of chicken porridge for her mother-in-law. She ate. She was very happy. And 1 week later, she passed away. So when you counsel people, you must know. Try to apply this. They are sick, but try to convince that they are not that sick. They divert their mind to other things. Thus, then lastly, thus encouraging one to strive after one's goal, regardless of the pain caused by the disease. So we use all kinds of methods to change their mind, the thoughts, from negative to positive thoughts. Because the last thoughts were destined where you will be reborn. I always tell my disciples, be positive, be positive. The same thing I'm telling you, be happy. Think positively. Dare to face whatever that comes. Whether it's good or bad. Face it, accept it, and move forward. Don't just stop there. Things that you can solve it. Those that you cannot solve, just leave it. Don't show it wherever you go. Right? Sometimes there are things that we cannot do. Just leave it. Go for it. But if there are things, negative things that arrive, we have to accept it. Accept the reality. Because what the Buddha says, everything is impermanent. Everything is changing. Now the worst part is we don't like to change. We dare not to change. Isn't it? We dare not to accept changes, new things. This is suffering. So another value that you have to develop is adaptability. Adapt slowly. No? Then you find that wherever you go, there's no problem. One common thing that the people cannot adapt is new bed. They have to bring their pillow, their blanket, maybe are you all like that? Yes, pillow. You must be like me. I don't take pillow, I don't take any blanket. Wherever I go, I can sleep. And some people, because of new environment, they cannot sort of produce chocolate. Because of new environment. You see how it's suffering, isn't it? Jam over here. Isn't it? For me, no problem. Comes up, morning, okay, produce chocolate. At night, just sleep. Whatever, food, not Malaysian food or whatever, as long as it's vegetarian, it's okay. Even if it is not vegetarian, if you can't find vegetarian food, it's fine for me. But not here, because here in Malaysia you can get vegetarian food easily, but once you are out of the country, okay, and don't tell people that Reverend Singhan can eat anything. When you have no choice, okay, when you have no choice. I'm just sharing my experience. Okay, at one time I was with Brother Al, who has passed away. We have a trip we went to Hagdai, and we went to a temple, and there was those monks sitting high up there. I was the only nun, so I set the place, the Lord. So the devotees were happily offering, in Thai, what they offer. You see it? So I saw, shining. I saw some gravy, and it was a fish gravy. So I was at the T-junction to take or not to take. That time I was very young, a young nun, right? And So it's not good to push away, isn't it? You're not accepting what people. So I act. Finally, I act. Luckily, Uncle Farms, Mrs. Farm took me to the MBMC to learn Vipassana meditation. So during meditation, you just sit, you eat and you chew, right? And then you swallow. So I applied this method when I was eating the fish gravy without craving. Just accept people's gratitude. So adaptability is very important also. Adapt to environment, anything, or else you will suffer. It's a simple thing, you suffer. Okay, I think time's up. Maybe it's open for question and answer. If I can answer, right? If I can answer, I will post it to Bobby. Give me a few days to go and search. Okay. Any question? It can be out of the topic, because you all need not have to sit for exam.
Venerable, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I want to ask you, what is now a problem is that many people are not suffering physical illnesses, they are suffering mental illness. It's a very common sign that young people are having depression, they self-harm themselves. And what is the Buddhist approach to this type, in which in the Western concept, we will say that if you feel a lot of anger, you feel a lot of suffering, in the Western concept, you express it out. You shout at the person, you scream it out, you let it out. But in Buddhism, we suppress the thought. When we suppress the thought, there is so much that you can suppress, and there will come one day where the whole thing will explode. And then either that person will suffer from terrible physical illness because of the mental suppression, or the other way around, they will injure whatever it is in society around them, or they commit suicide. So what is the Buddhist approach to disease?
So it becomes a sort of a individual or social problems.
Social problem, because I myself, I'm a teacher myself. I have teenagers trying to self-harm themselves, you know what I mean, the cutting and everything. Or I have come across, they have to have psychological drugs because they can't stand ultra-competitive stress from, studyings and so on. I want to know how to handle it. Do I let them, when I counsel them, I ask them to express it out through music, through exercise, through dance, But the Buddhist way is suppress, which is a better way to look at how our thoughts can negatively affect the emotion, and then the physical health comes about. The immune system goes down, they suffer a lot, a lot of illnesses and so on. What is the Buddhist approach to that?
Actually, it's happening all over the world.
Yes.
Now, do we have this problem in our 50s? Do we have this kind of mental problems?
I think this type of mental problem...
Our time. Why we don't have this type of problems? Okay, one, we are with nature, right? Our time, we are with nature. And then, during our time, we are not so-called rich people, we are poor. So, we appreciate what we have. We experience the up and downs. We can take, or we can handle, or we can face whatever that comes. But nowadays, what happened to our children? They are well protected. They have everything they want. Yet, they are not contented. there'll be more and more craving. So more and more craving, it comes back to mental illness. If you can't get what you want, then anger, hatred. I hate my mom, I hate my dad for not buying me the iPhone, for not allowing me to use the computer. No, actually they are trying to protect you. They say, okay, you must know how to control, or else you'll be addicted. You lost control. You'll be going in deeper and deeper. And this is what's happening. It's happening now. Can you bring back or adjust the time to 30s? So these are the conditions. No? These are the parents also must be responsible. Why should you give the best? Why should you spoil them? Because it is because you have only 1 or 2 diamonds around you, right? Last time, when there's no birth control, our parents have a lot of diamonds. Our parents are very rich. 7. My parents are around 8 diamonds. Do you think your mom got the time to look after you? No. After eating, we have to wash our bowl. We have to wash our, school shoes. We have to wash our school shoes. Now, do they have to wash or not? No need. Got a maid. Kakak, boleh cuci ya? Huh? They are spoiled. What can we do? Okay, send them to Sunday schools, whether they like it or not. Because we train them, we try to nurture them with moral values. From very young age, you have to send them whether they like it or not. Because only those institutions, centers, they provide moral education. Right? Last time, we have one subject called civic. Yeah? I don't know whether you have civic. No civic. Huh? What moral do you learn? Tak ada moral lah, immoral. But I think also they are smarter than us because of the food they take. Ours was the what? The Hong Jing I like you the man. Our time, isn't it? No meat, yeah. That's why our mind are very slow. Very slow, steady, but disciplined. What do they eat? Fast food. Then those what they call milk powder, that make them very intelligent, over intelligent. So all these problems prop up. One thing is, I think, if there's a chance, send them for Dharma studies when they are very small, age 4, 5. Once they are stable, they're okay. And morally, we will be stable. And nowadays, you have to be very patient. You cannot scold them. You have to spend time to try to dig out something from them, no? The worst thing is they don't open up. If they don't open up, how are we going to prescribe the medicine? We don't know what kind of sickness or what she's thinking or he is thinking. What is the problem? So you have to have a lot of compassion, loving kindness, to slowly wait for the chance for your son or daughter to really talk to you. Be very patient. You cannot use scolding. Our time is caning. We are afraid that time. But nowadays, you cannot. Once you came, your room will be empty. I don't know, they will go to friends or somewhere. So it's the other way around. You have to be very patient. Slowly talk to them. Find out what is the problem. And of course, another thing that you can do is every night send metta. The mental, the spiritual karma treatment. If you verbally you cannot convince, so you have to use mental. You know how to send metta or not? Okay. And then metta, when you say metta, you have to be very patient. Not only one or two nights you say metta, got effect or not? No effect. Then I give up. Yeah, metta. You heard of how Buddha tamed the elephant when the elephant came to want to attack the Buddha. He said metta. Mind is the foreigner. Mind is very powerful. So I share with you one case. I used to attend funeral services because my temple specialized in funeral services. There were many cases. There was one case. It was a very difficult case. My Dharma sister was very afraid of handling difficult cases. I'm not saying I'm expert. So whenever there's difficult cases, my Dharma sister would say, "You go and handle. You go and handle." 好難搞. So I approached the mourner's son. He was very angry. He was not happy with something that he wants something that be not Buddhistic or like. Normally, when you invite a Buddhist monk or nuns, and then what you offer to the deceased is normally vegetarian. He was not satisfied. He said, "Can I put meat?" I said, "Okay." He was very angry. He was coming towards me. He was very angry. And I tried. I sent metta. How do I send? I just look into his eye. Right into his eye, but not with hatred, but with loving kindness. I didn't say anything. I just looked into his eye, and I spoke with loving kindness. I can see his reaction was soft. So it's not charm, no? It's loving kindness. You must know how to differentiate charm and loving kindness. No, some men, a young man, they can charm the young girls. Eye and eye contact, isn't it? So I never experienced it, but my experience is loving kindness towards that. So you can apply that, and also you can apply that to your children. No, your loving kindness must be true loving kindness. No? Cannot control. Yes, mind control. So what I'm trying to say is you can apply loving kindness if you cannot talk, cannot solve it. You use your mind every night. So do I solve your problem? Yeah. Temporarily. Mind, yes, use the mind.
Do you chant any Mahayana mantra?
Yes?
Mahayana, like Sinji, Papitu, do you chant?
Do you think I chant or not? Huh?
Is that loving kindness?
No need to chant anything. You see me as a Mahanist nun, but actually, where do I learn Buddhism? Huh? Actually, it's all from the Theravada tradition. No, when you say Theravada Mahayana, it's only Ekayana. Eka, that means one. The objective is the same. It's just the methodology we are using. So you see me as a Mahayanist nun, but what I practice both. Because I learned from Breakspear and also from Chief, and I also learned from my master. So I use both. Rojak. Malaysia is very different from other countries. We have Vajrayana, we have Theravada, we have Mahayana. So, and when it's like mixed. So I always say, in future, we have our own Malaysian Buddhism, which is very different from other countries. Because in Taiwan, it's mainly Mahayana. In Sri Lanka, it's mainly Theravada. So Malaysia is very different. We call it Ekayana. You can find all the three traditions here, just like Rojak. So, don't give me tough question.
Just before I ask, to address your question, it's not the middle way between release and suppression is mindfulness. So it's not usually we think of suppression because
They don't have the Buddhist face, you know what I mean?
yeah, you can mindfulness is very circular. You can teach circular mindfulness to them. Yeah. Yeah,
No need.
You can search up circular mindfulness and teach all the thing to them as well.
Actually,
So yeah.
Yeah, actually you need not have to suppress.
Yeah.
As you use mindfulness, just watch. Suppress certain cases or certain things you can suppress or you have to suppress, but you have to see case by case. Case by case. Of course, mindfulness is very important. Thank you. What?
Everybody living in the same community, everybody take turn and do lah.
They don't do. Mother must do everything.
But you say you are sick, then you.
No, you have to. That's why you have to train them when they are young.
The mother-in-law say no, they are study, they cannot do housework. So you have to say no, they stop you, cannot. So cannot ask them to do work. They do housework, the wash dishes are they
Then you have to educate your child to explain to them why you want them to wash, so that they can be independent. What your grandmom say, do you think is right? You're the parent. No, you have to find, we say, skillful mean. The Buddha said this one, another one, skillful mean. Method. There's no so-called fixed rules. Even the Dharma is not fixed. Condition. Yeah. If you say this and that means you are giving reason. Just give reason to escape. If you want to do it, you can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. My question is on disease. Usually, now we know that disease some are caused by bacteria and virus, and scientifically you can classify them as alive. So some people think of these things, bacteria disease, alive. So if I take medicine, I'm killing bacteria. So they rather not take medicine and let the sickness die down on its own, or they die. What's your view on this?
You're testing me. I'm not a doctor, no. I'm not a medical doctor. Yes, I've come across there are these people, they have this view that no, even the cells, they say is a living thing. So if I take the medicine, I'm killing this being. Yeah, different people have different perspective on that. Of course, as family members, we want that person to be healed. Okay, encourage the person to take medication. Some they say, I don't want to take. Okay, fine. You don't have to take what the doctor prescribed. Then how are you going to cure your disease? How? Like for example, cancer. We know that, it's not a secret video, that to prevent these cells from growing, you cut off cancer. You cut off sugar. But that also, you're killing the cell. But what is important, we have to wait. These cells, are they really living cells? Are they really living beings? Which one is more important? The cell is important, or the person is important? If you think the cells is important, then you prepare yourself to die. If you think that you are important, because once you recover, there are lots of things I can do. There are lots of things that I can do for the community, the consequences. So it's up to the person to choose. Then, again, wisdom have to come in. Likewise, the Buddha doesn't encourage his disciples to be vegetarian on vegetarian diet. Why? But yet, we, as Mahanis, we go on full vegetarian. Why? Because in India, those what they call ascetics, monks, they go for alms round. And you cannot say, I'm a vegetarian, you can offer me meat. Culturally, it's different. So, they accept the Theravada, the Theravadists, they can eat as long as they don't see. For in Chinese culture, it's different. Chinese culture, they say, you can do any kind of job. Don't be a beggar. So it's not accepted in our Chinese culture. Alms bowl, go for alms bowl. Arms strong. Nobody will want, or people will look you. Because in Chinese culture, any kind of job you can do except for begging, as a beggar. So this doesn't work in China. Therefore, in China, the monks and nuns, they have to cultivate, they have to plant. They do agriculture, they do everything to sustain. And run, or even run the temple. Whereas in the other tradition, is run by lay people, society. So there's always positive, good and negative. Why I say that? Because if you know, everything is taken care by the devotees, you have spent more time for your cultivation. Right? It doesn't mean that the other culture, tradition, have no time for cultivation. Work is cultivation. Mindfulness in everything that you do. Even that you sweep the floor. We are reminding yourself of sweeping all the impurities of your mind. And one thing that's good, because if there's any war, any disasters, we are able to take care of ourselves. Whereas this one, they people, when things happen in the country, they will take care of the family first. Right? So I think one of